March 16th is closer than you think, and if you receive Social Security, SSI, or SSDI, there is a new rule taking effect on that date that you need to understand before it arrives. Now, I want to be clear right away. This is not something to panic about, but it is something you need to know about because the people who are going to have problems are simply the ones who were never told. By the end of this video, you are going to know exactly what is changing, whether it affects your specific situation, and the simple steps you can take before March 16th to make sure your benefits are fully protected. Let me start with why this matters so personally for so many people. When you receive Social Security, that monthly deposit is not just a number on a screen. It is your rent. It is your insulin. It is the grocery run at the beginning of the month and the electric bill that cannot wait. For millions of Americans, there is no backup plan if that payment is delayed or disrupted. There is no savings cushion to fall back on. That reality is exactly why staying ahead of rule changes is so important. Not because the system is working against you, but because knowing how it works puts you in control. Now I want to tell you about someone I will call Margaret. Margaret is 71 years old, lives in a small apartment in Tennessee, and has been receiving Social Security retirement benefits for 6 years without a single problem. She is organized, she is careful, and she assumed that because nothing had changed in her situation, nothing would ever affect her payments. Then last year, a new policy adjustment came through, one that required certain beneficiaries to confirm updated identity information through the My Social Security online portal or by visiting an SSA office in person. Margaret had not set up an online account. She did not know the confirmation was required. She missed the window. Her payment was not stopped permanently, but it was placed under a temporary review that delayed her deposit by nearly 3 weeks. 3 weeks without her check meant 3 weeks of borrowing from her daughter, skipping her weekly groceries and spending hours on hold with SSA trying to understand what had happened. When it was finally resolved, the SSA representative told her, "If you had known what to look for, this would have taken 10 minutes to prevent." That is exactly what we are doing today. 10 minutes now to prevent weeks of stress later. So, what exactly is changing on March 16th? Here's the clearest way to explain it. Social Security is implementing updated identity verification and account confirmation requirements that affect how the agency processes benefit payments and manages beneficiary records. In plain language, SSA is strengthening the way it confirms that the right person is receiving the right benefits. This is a direct response to a significant increase in fraudulent claims and account takeovers that have cost real beneficiaries real money over the past few years. The agency is tightening its process so that your benefits are harder for anyone else to access or redirect. What this means practically is that certain beneficiaries, and particularly those who have not recently logged into or created a My Social Security account, those whose identity information in the SSA system may be outdated, and those who have had any recent changes to their address, banking, or contact details, may be prompted to complete a verification step. If that step is not completed, payments can be held pending review. And here's the part that surprises most people. You may not receive a loud warning before this happens. SSA may send a letter, but letters get lost, get misread, or arrive after the deadline has already passed. Now here is where things start to get interesting, because not everyone is affected equally. Let me walk you through the situations that put someone at higher risk right now. If you have never created a My Social Security online account at SSA.gov, you are in a group that SSA is paying close attention to under this new process. If your address on file with SSA is different from where you currently live, even if your mail is being forwarded, that discrepancy can trigger a review. If your phone number or email address in the SSA system is outdated, that matters too because SSA uses those contact points to reach you when verification is needed. If you recently changed your name due to marriage or other legal reasons, and that change has not been reflected in SSA records, that is another flag. And if you are receiving benefits on behalf of someone else as a representative payee, there are additional confirmation requirements that apply specifically to your role. But there is another part of this that many people overlook. And I want to make sure you hear this clearly. Even if none of those situations apply to you directly, the people around you may be affected. Your neighbor, your parent, your sibling who never quite got around to setting up that online account. This is a situation where sharing what you know genuinely protects people you care about. Let us talk about consequences, because understanding what can happen helps you take the right steps with the right urgency. If your information is flagged under the new verification process and you do not respond in time, your payment can be placed in a pending status. That does not mean it is gone, but it does mean it is delayed while SSA waits for confirmation from you. In some cases, that delay can be resolved within a few days. In others, especially if the initial contact from SSA is missed, it can stretch into weeks. For someone whose entire monthly budget is built around the arrival of that deposit, even 5 days can mean the difference between making rent and not. And this brings me to something I need to warn you about directly. Because scammers follow government policy, changes the way sharks follow movement in the water. Within days of any SSA rule announcement, fraudulent phone calls begin. You may receive a call from someone claiming to be a Social Security representative telling you that due to the new March 16th rule, your account needs to be verified immediately over the phone. They will sound official. They may even read back details about you that feel uncomfortably accurate. Do not engage. Do not provide your Social Security number, your bank information, or any personal details. Social Security does not call you out of the blue demanding immediate verification. If you are ever uncertain, hang up and call SSA directly at 1-800-772-1213. Save that number in your phone right now. So here's exactly what you should do before March 16th. Step 1, go to ssa.gov and log into your My Social Security account. If you do not have one, create one. The process takes about 15 minutes and requires your Social Security number, an email address, and a way to verify your identity. If you are not comfortable doing this online, call 1-800-772-1213 or visit your local SSA office and ask for help setting it up. Step 2. Once you are logged in, review your personal information. Check your address, your phone number, your email, and your direct deposit details. Make sure everything is current and accurate. Step 3. If anything needs to be updated, do it now, not later. Changes need time to process through SSA's system, and submitting them even a week before March 16th gives you much better protection than waiting. Step 4. Check your mail carefully over the next 2 to 3 weeks. If SSA sends you a letter requesting confirmation or verification, treat it as a priority. Do not set it aside. Step 5. If your payment does not arrive on its expected date after March 16th, contact SSA the same day. Early contact means faster resolution. For caregivers and family members, your role in this moment is genuinely important. If you have an elderly parent, a spouse with a disability, or a neighbor who relies on Social Security and is not comfortable navigating these steps alone, please help them. Sit down together and go through the My Social Security account. Confirm the information on file is correct. If you are a representative payee, contact SSA to confirm that your status and records are up to date under the new requirements. This is one of those situations where 30 minutes of your time could protect someone from weeks of stress. Now, here is something that many people do not consider until it is too late. Even after March 16th, this is not a one-time situation. SSA's updated verification process is going to be an ongoing part of how the agency manages accounts going forward. That means staying engaged with your My Social Security account, checking in periodically, keeping your contact information current, and responding promptly to any SSA correspondence is now more important than ever. Think of it less like a deadline and more like a new habit that protects your income every single month. The reason SSA is doing this is worth understanding, because it helps the whole thing make sense. Fraud against Social Security beneficiaries has increased dramatically in recent years. Criminals have found sophisticated ways to redirect payments, file fraudulent claims, and exploit gaps in the verification system. The people who suffer when this happens are real seniors, real disabled Americans, real widows who suddenly find their payment has been sent somewhere else. The new rule is SSA drawing a stronger line around your benefits. It is designed to work for you, not against you, but only if you are engaged enough to complete your part of the process. You have spent years contributing to this system, or you have navigated real hardship to qualify for these benefits. They belong to you. No fraudster, no administrative oversight, and no missed letter should be able to disrupt that. And when you take these steps before March 16th, you make sure they cannot. Check your account this week, update what needs to be updated, share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, being informed is the most powerful protection you have.